Hello, I've got for you today something special. In 2023, late 2023, Montblanc announced a new bespoke service. So in the past, what you could customize as part of their bespoke service was limited to the type of nib and to an inscription on the side, on the flanks of the nib. Of course, you could do that on any pen you chose, but they've now widened their offering quite considerably. And I guess if this channel is a manifestation of my folly, this pen is the pinnacle of that folly. This is by far the most expensive pen for what it is. As you can imagine, anything that's customized does not have great resale value. So this being a $5,800 pen, all in, it's quite pricey for what it is. I can't imagine anyone else wanting something like this. But now, as part of the bespoke service, they've come to their senses, and when you request a bespoke nib, they give you the option of ordering any pen that you want, and rather than send it around the world, or rather than ship it back and forth, if it's in Hamburg, they'll just do the pen right there in Hamburg. Avoids shipping cost. So now, in addition to the nib, so this is a oblique left calligraphy nib, something that you'd be able to get if you requested it as well. So I'll give you a writing sample of that in a minute. This is on top of the standard customization of the nib. They allow you, of course, to put in inscriptions on the side, but they also allow you to choose a engraving, whether you choose engraving or supply the engraving to them. That's an option, so you could have anything in this section here. The finish of the nib can be any finish that you choose. So instead of simply being gold, yellow gold, platinum, and I think they've got rose gold as well, you can also have this ruthenium coating. And I think there's something else, but I can't quite remember what it was. It wasn't for me. I really think this dark color is quite nice. And then, of course, the big elephant in the room is you can get a gemstone added to the nib. For whatever reason, if you want one, they've got them. I think they've got about a dozen different types of gemstones. This is a diamond. But you can choose ruby, emerald, all the main stones that you can think of, they've got. So going in and getting this done very much felt like checking off options on a car. I wasn't expecting to spend this much on this pen, but the minute you got in there, you're like, okay, I want that engraving on the front. No point in just having a standard calligraphy nib on a 149 nib design. I wanted that, so that was extra. The ruthenium coating wasn't extra, so that was, I guess, good. But then you also want a diamond, you also want a gemstone, and really only certain stones look good in combination with certain metals. And there was, I think, no option here other than going with clear white diamond. I'm glad. The first photo I saw of it when they finished making it, to check everything before sending it over, the diamond looked a bit yellow, but that was down, I now know, to the lights that they had in the atelier. Here you've got relatively standard daylight, and beautiful clear diamond. I'm so glad that this turned out well enough. Any yellow in that would have been a disaster. There we go. Beautiful finish, I think. The minute we saw it, so when you go to the service, they allow you to obviously choose what you want, and there's a render of the final product for you to vet the choices. And the minute we saw it, we were like, yes, that's what we want. It was just absolutely wonderful. Of course, as part of the service, and as part of the service as it has always been, you have the option of choosing from a variety of pre-select but not standard nibs. So this is the oblique left. They've got extra fine. They've got quite a few nibs to choose from, and of course you can put in your own specifications if you want. I've actually seen a bifurcated nib, which is really neat. I think I might get that next. But no, I want to cut back on these sorts of frivolous costs. So nice. I love it so much. It's great. And one of the reasons why I chose this particular nib is, do you ever get that when you put a pen to paper and it sits immediately the way that you'd want it to, and it writes effortlessly? That's what I got from this the minute I tested the sample. So let's see. I've got a very strong reflex to write my name when I pull this pen out to sign. But let's avoid that reflex and just give you some lines. So of course you've got beautiful loops, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like this. It feels, the minute, of course because the nib is so big, the minute it touches the paper it wants to set itself. And so you've got wonderful line variation without having to worry about any pressure. Of course there's no flex in this nib, but yes, you've got wonderful, wonderful line variation. And it's a lot easier to use, so I've got a standard, I guess a Gothic script 5mm wide nib, and that is proving to be a bit harder to use than I'd like, but for some reason here, when I put it to paper the first time I tested it, it felt so much more natural than that particular nib. So yeah, really glad with that. If you enjoy calligraphy and you enjoy over-the-top ostentatious things, maybe a nib like this is for you. I definitely recommend the experience. It's a lot of waiting, a lot of excitement waiting for the nib. Seeing the final product is very rewarding. So there we go. I had it placed on a rose gold 149 because I didn't have rose gold 149. I got a lot of yellow ones and I'm kind of sick of them, so it shows something else. But they can put it on any pen that you either supply to them or they have in stock. But there you go. A wonderful, wonderful bespoke 149 nib. And I guess it comes in time for celebrating their 100 years of the 149. Thank you for watching.